Good morning. I'd like to bring the May 17th, 2021 Planning Advisory Commission meeting to order. And if you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and the flag is to the rear there on the pole outside. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And I would ask if you would please silence or turn off your cell phones this morning. We should be fairly brief today. And mine is silenced and it is ringing. Today we're operating under much different circumstances as most meetings are now being held. We have had some commissioners that are watching by television or YouTube, maybe forwarding some questions to me via text. We will have citizens calling in via phone, and the phone number should be right up on the screen. That phone number is 706-225-3937. And if anyone that's watching by television, please feel free to call in questions to that number or comments. And I remind those in the audience and those watching on TV, this is the first hearing of any rezoning, text change, or special exception request that's brought before us here today. We will first hear a reading of the staff report for the case by planning staff and ask the applicant to provide a brief overview of the request. We will then give the opportunity for anyone in the audience to speak for or against that request or to inquire about that request. Commissioners will have time for any needed discussion on the case. Once a motion is made and seconded by the commission, a vote will take place and a recommendation will be rendered. The case will go back to the planning department for their independent recommendation. If a favorable recommendation is given, then the case is forwarded to City Council and with the two independent recommendations. If the planning department makes a recommendation for denial, the applicant will then have 10 days from the receipt of a letter stating the denial to notify the clerk of council that they're requesting to be put on the City Council's agenda. The City Council of Columbus will hold a public meeting. That's called the first reading. Said council will then consider the case, review the PAC and Planning Department recommendations, and hear discussion on the matter. Council will make a final decision at a second public meeting, which is called the second reading. Generally, our first item on the agenda is to approve minutes, but we do not have any minutes to approve today. So we'll move on to our rezoning cases. And the first rezoning case we have this morning is case number REZN 04210662. This is a request to rezone 0.45 acres of land located at 8238 Cooper Creek Road. Current zoning is RO, residential office. Proposed zoning is NC, neighborhood commercial. Proposed use is retail. Suresh Kumar is the applicant, and this property is located in Council District 6, Gary Allen. We'll hear from Mr. RENFROE first on the planning staff report.
Yes, sir. General land use is consistent for Planning Area A. Current land use designation is single-family residential. Future land use is general commercial. It is compatible with existing land uses. The property does not lie within the floodway and floodplain area. The developer will need an approved drainage plan prior to issuance of a site development permit if a permit is required. Property is served by all city services. Average annual daily trips will increase by 261 trips if used for commercial usage. The level of service will remain at a level of B. This site shall meet the codes and regulation of the Columbus Consolidated Government for commercial usage. There'll be no school impact. The site shall include a Category C buffer along all property lines bordered by the SFR1 zoning district. The three options under Category C are 20 feet with a certain amount of canopy trees, understory trees, shrubs, ornamental grasses per 100 linear feet, 10 feet with a certain amount of shrubs, ornamental grasses per 100 linear feet, and a wood fence or masonry wall, 30 feet undisturbed natural buffer. No comment from Fort Benning recommendation, no DRI recommendation. The surrounding zoning to the north is general commercial, south is SFR1, east is RO, and west is NC. 20 property owners within 300 feet of the subject property were notified of the rezoning request. The planning department received no calls and or emails regarding the rezoning, and there's no additional information.
All right. Thank you, Mr. RENFROE. Commissioners, do you all have any questions, planning staff, at this time? And I see none. All right. Will the representative for this case please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and then tell us what your plans are, please.
Good morning. My name is Scott Boyce. I'm 5767 Roaring Branch Road in Columbus, Georgia. I'm here today representing the developer Suresh Kumar on this property to have it rezoned from RO to NC Neighborhood Commercial. This property is compatible with the surroundings. Directly across from us to the left is Maple Village. It is zoned general commercial. To the northwest of us is Maple Mart. It is zoned general commercial, and a vacant lot across our entrance road is zoned NC Neighborhood Commercial. Suresh Kumar is a local citizen of Columbus. He has a proven track record of developing multiple projects in the city. He's worked with builders and lenders, architects, and land planners. This property fronts both Blythe Street and Cooper Creek Road. Cooper Creek Road is at the intersection with Veterans Parkway. We're just east of that intersection. It's a lighted intersection. To the back of us, our boundary line in the rear, we abut the Maple Ridge Golf Community, 575 single-family homes. It has an 18-hole golf course and various amenities for the residents. We are compatible with the existing land uses. We are consistent with the future land use map showing commercial, and all city services are available to this site, and we have not seen any impact negatively on those city services by going to the NC Neighborhood Commercial zoning. We therefore respectfully request that you approve this rezoning change from RO to Neighborhood Commercial.
All right, thank you, Mr. Boyce. Commissioners, do you all have any questions of Mr. Boyce at this time? Yes, sir.
What is the actual plan for the site?
Right now, it's going to serve a couple of purposes. We need it zoned NC Neighborhood Commercial. We're going to, our land planner, Nixon Massey, is sketched in approximately 21 surface parking places. We have a critical need for parking for both overflow from Maple Village, which Kumar owns and operates, and Maple Mart. So we may have some employees parked there. We have a critical need to get some of that parking off the streets onto this lot. So we'll have 21 parking places. We'll also have we have plans to build a 1,000-square-foot building. That's about as large as we can build on that site, still have the parking. We'll let the market dictate the use of that. Right now, don't know if that's anything from a coffee shop to a pizza pickup to dry cleaners. Just not sure. We'll let the market dictate where, if they want to be in that location. And then we'll have room in the back for the detention pond and the fencing and the boundary setback lines. So our main need is critical need is surface parking.
All right, does that answer your question? Okay. Anyone else? All right. Thank you, Mr. Boyce.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone in the audience like to speak for this case? Please come forward at this time. Is there anyone in the audience like to speak against this case? And there's no movement. All right. Commissioners, the floor is open for a motion on this case. Anyone like to make a motion? Anyone? All right.
All right. When it comes to REZN-04-21-06-62, request to rezone 0.45 acres of land located at 8238 Cooper Creek Road. Current zoning residential office, proposed zoning neighborhood commercial, proposed it be approved.
All right. And the reasoning for approval is?
It's needed, the parking area. I've been to the establishment before, and it's definitely needed some parking spaces that affect the area. People park everywhere.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Several seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All right, thank you very much. It's unanimous. All right, next case, REZN 04210799, a request to rezone 10.88 acres of land located at 8300 Fortson Road. Current zoning is RE1, residential real estate 1. Proposed zoning is LMI, light manufacturing industrial. The proposed use is manufacturing Exterior Finish Systems. Flat Rock Property Management LLC is the applicant. This property is located in Council District 2, Davis. We'll hear from the Planning Division first on the staff report, please.
Yes, sir. General land use is consistent. Planning Area A. Current land use designation is vacant, undeveloped. Future land use designation is light manufacturing and industrial. It is compatible with the existing land uses. The property does not lie within the floodway and floodplain area. The developer will need an approved drainage plan prior to issuance of a site development permit if a permit is required. Property is served by all city services. Average annually daily trips will increase by 374 trips if used for industrial. The level of service will remain at a level A. The site shall meet the codes and regulations of Columbus Consolidated Government for industrial usage. There'll be no school impact. The site shall include a Category C buffer along all property lines bordered by the general commercial zoning district. The three options under Category C are 20 feet with a certain amount of canopy trees, understory trees, shrubs, ornamental grasses per 100 linear feet, 10 feet with a certain amount of shrubs, ornamental grasses per 100 linear feet, and a wood fence or masonry wall, 30 feet undisturbed natural buffer. No Fort Benning recommendation, no DRI recommendation. The surrounding zoning to the north is RE1 residential estate, to the south is GC, to the east is PMUD, planned mixed use development, and to the west is general commercial. 25 property owners within 300 feet of the subject property were notified of the rezoning request. The planning department received one call and or email regarding the request, and there's no additional information.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Renfroe. I do have a question for you. Tell us what level of service A, so everybody knows, because Fortson Road is a very heavily traveled road. Can you give us some insight into that?
Yes, sir. A is the best. I mean, it's free flowing. There's never any problems with that particular road at that location. Now it may differ as far as at intersections and things like that, but as far as at that location, it's an A, and F would be the worst.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dudley.
You said that you received a call or an email about the request. What was the concern of the call?
The one call we received requesting what type of manufacturing they would be doing at this location.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, commissioners? All right. Do we have a representative of the Flat Rock Property Management LLC? And if you would state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning. My name is Austin Gibson. My address is 1111 Bay Avenue, 3rd floor, Columbus, Georgia. I'm an attorney at Page, Scranton, Sprouse, Tucker, and Ford, and I'm here today to represent Flat Rock Property Management LLC, who is the applicant for this rezoning. And as mentioned, the rezoning is for an approximately 10.8 acres of land located at 8300 and 8350 Fortson Road. It's currently zoned residential 1, and the proposed rezoning is LMI. As mentioned, my clients plan to develop this parcel of land into a manufacturing facility. The proposed business is Master Wall, Inc. They're currently a business located in Columbus, Georgia, out in Midland off of Flat Rock Road, and so the proposal is to move their office and warehouse area into this new site and expand their building a little bit. The property is serviced already by all necessary utilities, facilities, and infrastructure, so there won't be any additional investments in that regard. As far as economic impact goes, the rezoning will have nothing but a positive economic impact in that it'll, especially in the build-out phase, new construction jobs and things of that nature will be created, and additionally, the plan is for the company to expand its already existing presence in Columbus by adding some additional employees at this new location. There will be a substantial increase in tax receipts on this property. As mentioned, the property is currently undeveloped. And so with regard to specifically the 3-acre tract, we anticipate that there would be a 6,500% increase in property tax receipts over the current receipts covering that property. And as mentioned previously, the zoning is consistent with the the zoning of other parcels around the property. There's general commercial. A little bit further up, there's additional light manufacturing and industrial, as well as the Columbus Quarry is also just north of this piece of property as well. So in conclusion, we believe that this rezoning request meets all the requirements to be rezoned, and we respectfully request that the commission approve this rezoning.
Okay. Commissioners, y'all have any questions of Mr. Gibson? Anyone?
I'm
All
sorry?
right. Yes, go ahead.
What was the manufacturer?
It's Masterwall Inc. Their corporate office is located here in Columbus, but they have a nationwide presence, and what they do is manufacture and install stucco finishes for hotels and homes and things of that nature.
Does it require to be certain distance from a residential area? Any chemicals or any particles that can be dangerous for the health of the community? Because I see a lot of residential units close by the area. Would that be any problem?
I don't believe so. I'm not aware of any hazardous materials or anything of that nature that would be used at the facility or warehouse there.
All right, does that answer your question? All right, anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you were saying that this area that you're developing this in, you said this is a new developing area, right? And they're moving from somewhere else here?
Correct.
Okay, so this will be the only location then, the one that you're building?
Yes, that's my understanding, is that there won't be a presence at the old location out on Flat Rock Road anymore, that they'll be moving everything over to the new location.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Anyone else? All right. All right, thank you, Mr. Gibson.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak for this case? Please come forward. And same for if you would like to come speak against this case, please come forward. And I see no movement, so the floor is open for a motion on this case, please, commissioners. Oh, Ms. Weekly.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve REZN 04210799, request to rezone 10.88 acres of land located at 8300, 8350 Fortson Road from residential estate 1 to light manufacturing and industrial. Proposed use of this property is compatible with existing land use.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Several seconds here. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And all opposed? All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 1 opposed. All right. Thank you very much. All right, last case for today, case number REZN 04210800, a request to rezone 3.65 acres of land located at 3290 Williams Road. Current zoning is LMI, light manufacturing industrial. Proposed zoning is GC, general commercial. Proposed use is retail. Sung Kim is the applicant. The property is located at Council District 2, Davis. And we will hear from planning first on their report.
Yes, sir. The general land use is consistent for planning area A. Current land use designation is vacant, undeveloped. Future land use is general commercial. It is compatible with existing land uses. The property does not lie within the floodway and floodplain area. The developer will need an approved drainage plan prior to issuance of a site development permit if a permit is required. Property is served by all city services. Average annual daily trips will increase by 694 trips if used for commercial usage. The level of service will remain at a level C. The site shall meet the codes and regulations of the Columbus Consolidated Government for commercial usage. There's no school impact. The site shall include a Category C buffer along all property lines bordered by the LMI zoning district. 3 options under Category C are 20 feet with a certain amount of canopy trees, understory trees, shrubs, ornamental grasses per 100 linear feet, 10 feet with a certain amount of shrubs, ornamental grasses per 100 linear feet in a wood fence or masonry wall, 30 feet undisturbed natural buffer. There's no Fort Benton recommendation, no Deer Eye recommendation. The surrounding zoning to the north is general commercial, to the south is LMI, to the east is LMI, to the west is SFR1. 15 property owners within 300 feet of the subject's property were notified of the rezoning request. The planning department received no calls and or emails regarding the rezoning, and there's no additional information.
All right, thank you, Mr. Renfro. Commissioners, do y'all have any questions for planning at this time? No questions? All right, if you would just state your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Jeannie Hasty with Coldwell Banker Commercial, and I'm here with Mr. Sun Kim. You want us to stand up. The property owner, Ed Adams, represents the seller. My address is 7233 Stillwater Drive, Columbus, Georgia, 31904. I do have some information I'd like to pass out. Indulge me to understand my testimony.
We really needed to receive that prior to the meeting.
Oh, okay, no problem.
That's okay.
No
That's
problem
fine.
at all.
All right,
No problem at all.
thank you. But you can put it on the projection if you'd like and present it to everyone. Thank you. And he's got you a microphone right there.
Okay, all right. Well, basically, Mr. Renfroe said everything that is about the property, but I do want to introduce you to, who Kim Boots is. Mr. Sun Kim has been in the United States for 35 years, and he's been operating out of the landings for Kim Boots for 28 years. So he's a brilliant businessman. He currently has 4,200 square feet. He needs to double that. With this 13,000 square foot building, he will occupy 10,000 square feet of that. The Adams did develop 2 sites. The next door site is Sunbelt, and we do have a retention pond and a decel lane, ingress and egress, that were developed for both of the properties. We've done a site plan for the 13,000 square foot building, and we have 54 parking places planned. Oh, okay. Thank you. As you can see, and then the back is the retention pond on both properties for the storm water management. The area development around it, as Mr. Renfroe said, Sunbelt has a really beautiful facade, and then the OBGYN is across the street. It's close to the corner of Veterans, which, has the retail establishment and restaurants there. And we propose just the building site from LMI to Mr. Kim's plan of what the building would look like. So we feel like it would enhance the area a great deal. It's a lot like the Valley Fir building. So we are in the process of getting bids after the phase 1 and the soil compaction and the drainage retention area that we're looking into for stormwater.
Can you go back to the site plan and show us where those retention ponds are, please?
Let me give you a better view. That work was done in 2015 by
Oh, I think I see it now. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So you'll share a retention pond with the Sunbelt property?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you planning to use the same driveway?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yeah, the
no
entrance
additional
off of
driveway off of
Off
Williams
of
Road?
Williams, yes, sir.
Williams Road is limited access. They cannot have they have to share that access with Southern Sunbelt Rentals.
Okay.
That is correct. right. And, this will be a good location for Kim's Boots. There's a store out at Fort Benning, and he is under contract with the Army to supply. Oh, I'm sorry. So anyway, his second location is at Fort Benning, and this will be great for shipping. He is under contract with Fort Benning just to serve all the soldiers in boot camp their boots, not once, but twice during that time. So we're real excited to be able to expand. He's needing to do that.
All right, thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions of the applicant this morning? Anyone? Yes, sir, Mr. Baker.
Quick question. The Valley Fur building that you're showing here, you were saying that is what y'all proposed for your?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you say they're going to be utilizing 10,000 square feet of the 13,000 total foot building. What else? Is there any other businesses they're planning to put in this?
We do not have any at this time, but we would like it to complement something that Mr. Kim does, in terms of retail. And there are to be 2 lease spaces, each of them will be 1,400 square feet.
Okay. How many parking places did you say you proposed?
54.
54, okay. I must have missed that one. All right. Any other questions, commissioners? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is anyone in the audience like to come up and speak for this case? Please do so at this time. And likewise against, and no one is moving again. So I'd like to open the floor up to the commission for a motion, please, regarding this case. Mr. Baker.
When it comes to REZN 0421-0800, a request to rezone 3.65 acres of land located at 3290 Williams Road. Current zoning is LMI. Proposed zoning is general commercial. Proposed use is retail. I recommend that we approve based on consistent land use.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second? Several seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. And it is unanimous. Thank you very much. Well, that concludes our cases for today. We will move on to new business. We do have one case scheduled for June the 2nd, 2021. I do encourage you to go out and take a look at that site, as I do on all sites, before you come to that. Also, a reminder of our class tomorrow. Did you want to mention something about that?
Yes, sir. It'll be 9 to 4. I tried to register everybody individually in case you couldn't make it, and it was impossible. Evidently, when you register one person, it tags onto your computer, and you can't use your computer to register anyone else. So we managed to get 2 in. We'll just send them a check, depending on how many folks do it. But we'll be at the River Valley Regional Commission tomorrow in their conference room, 9 to 4. I did not get an agenda, so they sent out all the presentations, but no agenda, so I don't know what the lunch break is, so.
They just came through.
The agenda did?
Yes.
Okay. So I was leaning towards just bringing lunch in, whichever's preferable. And I just wanted to get an idea of how many folks, I know James is not going to be there, but I didn't know, I know you ladies are coming. Okay, so 5, okay. All right, that's what I need to know. And we'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right, thank you very much. Is there any other new business we need to discuss? Any old business? Anyone? All right. Thank you for your time and attention, and we are adjourned.